first of all? Wait, like, make sure the camera can see
I
us.
see the back of it. That's fine.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I
Is
can
that-
see it now.
Okay,
That's fine.
take 19, mark it.
How'd I do?
You're really good.
Thanks.
It's job
I
promotion.
was gonna say I've had years of practice, but it would be 0.
Okay, speeding.
Let's see if I can make this work.
Alright.
Wow. Now we're talking old stuff.
What track is this?
I should be able to.
Oh, wow. That was a lot more smoother than the guy before. That's you, right? Right?
Yeah, it's 74. This is in the US somewhere, I think.
Do you know
But,
this?
It's Carlsbad.
Oh, it's Carlsbad.
Yeah.
It looks different. That fence, I don't remember that. Aki Jonsson. Huh.
Was that factory Suzuki days?
Yeah. Looks like slow motion.
It is. The 8mm camera had the slow motion capability.
That's the next cup. Look at little Prado.
Yeah.
He was so nervous that day.
That was in Halle, Halle, Erfurt.
Germany.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even remember the city.
Town. The
Town?
used to be Germany. It's very close to where Kenny is from.
Yeah, I remember that because a lot of people were talking. Yeah, Kenny's parents were actually there. This was actually the first race back after my injury in 16. So I remember I was actually, it wasn't a big race, but I was pretty nervous. But it
Yeah,
was good to
it's
get back
also
on the
the
gate.
track was kind of a half Supercross, half outdoors. It was not a very typical Supercross track the way.
It was really intense too. I remember each moto was 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I want to say
pretty long.
15-minute moto. 3 of them.
Oh.
Oh.
Gasher. You see, Gasher.
Geyser, yep.
Gasher, yeah.
Yeah. That right there. Yeah, because we went 1, 2, 3.
Jeffrey.
Pretty fun weekend. Oh no. Wamel. That's one track I guess I wish I could race again.
Yes,
I
sorted
just
out.
wasn't happy with.
Yeah,
I
that
felt
was
like
not.
a fish out of water, you know.
No, that's struggling.
Roger,
there.
when you were talking about keeping the rear wheel connected to the ground
Yeah.
in the sand, like, and I watched this footage of Brian, like, it makes more sense. Because that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah. But if you watch like a real sand specialist, like Herlings, even Caroli spends a lot of time practicing there. You will see how they try to keep the back wheel on the ground with the throttle and the body position and all that.
Yeah, right here is where Barsha gets spooked.
And it's so rutted,
Right there, he gets on the gas, and then I was like, oh boy.
Ooh.
It was
tough,
it was
that
the
was a
only
tough
race that
weekend,
I
yeah.
felt like I do not know what my bike's doing. Like if there was one race, I was like I do not understand it. You know, I was lost. Should have just focused on riding the track.
Here, wow.
Was that the year? When you were number 10, what year
I was on
Oh,
the-
that's 2000. This is going into 2009.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing O'Neill gear. I'm sorry, One Industry gear, but then I even switched after the first round of Fox. Big uphill start. Where's this?
I don't know, is that the introduction lap or
It's got to
Yeah.
be.
104? Whale,
Where's your
Adolf
helmet,
Whale.
Raj? Who is that?
Adolf Whale. He was on
The KTM?
on Michael when
Mako.
he walked with him.
And he looked strikingly similar to Paul Newman, the actor, like almost like twins.
Really?
Yeah. He had the piercing blue eyes and
104.
75. It's in 75, huh, this. But did you film this?
I did.
Yeah.
It's the 8mm camera.
Them tracks. I mean, when you look at these tracks, they got some. They're rough.
Wall sink. Oh, why not? He crashed. That's Saddleback, huh?
Yeah.
It's not too far from here. That was Italy now.
Yeah, it was 09 French Accorda.
Yeah. Look at the public there.
It was so many fans there that day. This track was the first time too.
Yeah, it was inside a road race facility.
Big old triple.
That was a good memory, that one.
Yeah, it was. That line, remember? You told me that line before the first
Yeah.
moto. Go outside and come across. Look at Marvin.
Yeah.
Now, Roger, as a native of Belgium, but so ingrained in the United States, like, do you get choked up when you hear the national anthem?
Yeah, it feels special, you know. It's pretty cool.
The hard part with MXGP, you have to prep your own gate. That was really uncomfortable.
Yeah. You're not used to it.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Oh. Jeez, Caroli, calm down.
I think he so badly wanted to beat you that year.
Yeah, he was riding really good too. The dirt actually looked really good that year.
Yeah, they did a good job with the prep of the dirt. Yeah.
And how do you feel, Ryan? Do you get choked up when you hear the national anthem?
Yeah, I mean, especially, you know, it's such a intense race, you know, you represent your country. It's bigger than just you, you know, the whole team, and maybe some bragging rights. I think more now what I think about is like we won it 3 years in a row, and now
Yeah, now we have not
the
won
hard
for.
part was when we didn't win it for 3 years in a row. And now, but kind of,
No, I know I'm there taping like this.
oh, it's
Or
special.
the year before in Italy, or the next year in France. Like I'm getting kind of choked up.
Oh yeah,
You know when it's.
so
when they win.
it's surreal every time, right? You know, and
Now, Roger, if you can explain to Ryan about what you were doing in 1980, your season. You knew it was your last
80
season.
was.
this is you right here, Raj.
Yeah, I was with Honda. I went to Honda, and my job was to develop the ProLink. But that was the first year of the ProLink, and so we went to the first GP that year was in Switzerland in Payerne, and we had made a new shock, but that was the first year of the ProLink, so there was a lot more stress than what they were used to with the twin shocks, and the shocks came apart inside, and I was leading the race. About halfway, the shock blew up inside, and it got stuck down. The bike was like a chopper, you know.
Oh.
And but we kept working, and we got the bike better and better. But I did a lot of testing there, and for result-wise, it would have been better if I could have focused more on trying to get the maximum points, you know. But then in the US GP, I had a big cartwheel down the hill, and it really hurt my thigh.
That year.
Yeah. But then, you know, we kept walking, and Malherbe got in the points lead. It was a big battle between Malherbe and Brett Lackey. But Malherbe ended up winning, and I won the last GP of the year. I ended up winning. That was my last race.
Oh wow, was this muddy? Had to be
Just
practice, huh?
one moto. It rained, like for half the moto.
I think, yeah,
in
that's
Saint,
right.
St. John.
Yeah, we had a pretty good shower, huh? Yeah.
I remember that now.
Saint-Jean-d'Angely.
I remember poor Baggett, dude. He got stuck under that fence, but he was able to
Yeah.
get it out underneath that from underneath
Yeah.
that race.
I thought this was pretty funny, Roger. They kept handing you stuff
Yeah.
up there to hold.
Oh, we should take our hats
And
off,
I want this
guys.
feeling again, and we need to go.
I know, huh?
Need to go win another one. Hopefully.
In the States. Look at Marv.
Yeah.
Mon ami. Christophe.
Namur.
So if you can tell Ryan a little bit about that track.
That track is built on the top of an old fortress, and it's in now it's a park, and you ride through the park and race through the park, and that they started racing there in the late 40s. And as you can see, there is trees, there is
Yeah.
walls, there is a little bit of everything, and but it's a track if you really focus on setting up the bike correctly, you can get a pretty serious advantage just by, correct gearing and suspension and all that.
Would you guys race there once a year?
Yeah,
'Cause
there
their
was
grass
only
was-
one time a year.
It's pretty impressive. The bikes looked really good back then for the. I mean,
That was close to the end of the season. That was the next to last race of the before the end of the season. So we got the bike working pretty good by then.
looks like pretty high speed, huh?
Yeah, some sections are high speed, and then there's some really tight sections too. I ended up having one motor. I ended up having problems with throttle sticking. It sucked water.
On the mud.
Yeah. Kigums.
Yes.
Yeah, Latvia. This was one of the first days on the KTM.
So what are you thinking about when you're going through that?
Just maintaining speed and as I come into the whoops, getting on top of them consistently. But just maintaining that speed and touching the tops of each of the whoops.
Try not to miss one with the front.
Right.
Right.
I almost did miss one right there actually, and it get off rhythm. But yeah, if you can just get in and just preload and you can get really light right there as you go into the whoops. Then you just kind of teeter-totter on the very tips of them. They weren't easy, but they were hard in their way because they were slick. But they weren't super big whoops, but still how slippery they were challenging. It's almost easier to miss one when they're easier.
I think this was that Halloween when we were talking with your brother, and
It's
he had
October.
his
Costume
costume, and Kenny had his little tiger outfit.
with the tail.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay, so was this the year?
Suzuki.
This-
07.
This was a year later from what we were talking.
Okay.
This was going into 2008. It was a battle with J-Law year.
Oh yeah.
Hey, buddy.
We're best friends. Yeah, it was. That bike, though, I tell you, every year it got better. 07, 08, and by 09, that bike was so good.
Yeah.
We hardly touched it, Before I knew too much. Before I knew anything.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Now this is England, Nations '08. I think you had Stewart, Ferry,
Oh yeah.
and Villapoto? Yeah, Villapoto. Now that's Nations '07,
Bud's Creek.
Bud's Creek.
Villa was good that day.
It was amazing.
He was so good that day.
I thought the crowd was so amazing. I think Red Bud this year will be similar to this one. Good crowd, a lot of
Hopefully
crazy
we-
drunk people.
Hopefully we can do good.
Are you already giving consideration to the team members who could be?
Well, you know, of course, Eli, you have to take Eli, and then it's hard after that because, like Jason, he wants to go, but he's hurt right now, so you have to give it some time. And he deserves to get another shot because in Italy, he won the first moto, and then he got at the end he got landed after the finish line. Some Japanese guy overjumped the finish line jump and landed on top of him. Stupid
Yeah,
guy.
that's crazy.
So this, I believe, is the last. I think it's the last clip.
Yeah,
this is your last
This is my last race.
If
yeah.
you could tell them about the circuit.
This is the track is in Luxembourg. It's close to Belgium, between Belgium and Germany. And as you can see, it's pretty much a natural track where they just put the fence down, you know.
Yep, yep. What number are you? Number 5?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right. It looks fast.
Yeah. Håkan Kalkvist. He
You
became world champion some years later. Brad Lucky.
but you went 1-1 on this day.
Yeah.
It's a nice way in the last. Wow.
So this is the start of the first moto.
Brad screwed up. It was filmed by MAF TV.
You have to share that with Dan.
Dan's up there thinking.
That's funny.
Where do you get this footage from?
I shot it. That's with my 8mm camera.
No.
Yeah,
You did?
All of this
Really?
stuff we're
All
watching,
this?
he shot all of this. Yeah.
With the 8mm?
yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You traveled a lot, huh? There's a lot of
I
these
did. I was
races,
just a
huh?
super fan, and I wasn't very good on the bike, so I started playing with cameras.
That's incredible. What country is this again? I forget.
Luxembourg.
Luxembourg.
So that was the end of the first moto. Now that I'm in the back of the track for the second moto. I think you have Lackey, Malherbe, Carlquist.
Yeah. That came out of the Calquist, yeah.
You guys had a lot of people, huh? Fans.
Yeah.
So they were fighting for the world championship. These Brad Lackey on the Kawasaki American,
Mm-hmm.
and Andre Malherbe Belgium on the Honda. And Roger would win both races, and then Malherbe would win the championship for the year.
From the time you started your career to the end, was the bike advancements that the progress that the bikes made?
In the 70s, they made a lot of progress. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you can.
In the 70s, like early 70s, there was a spurt, and then in the early 80s, like from 82 to 87, there was a big spurt. You know, in the early 70s, it was Suzuki did a good job. Then Yamaha came in the second part of the 70s. They had probably the best bike then, with Mikola in 77, 78, and then early 80s, Honda became dominant.
Yeah, that's when
Yeah.
you had all the guys: Ricky Johnson, O'Mara, Bailey.
Yeah, we for some years there, like from 81 to 80 or to 90 pretty much, but it was more dominant in the first part of the 80s,
Yeah.
because our bikes got so good. 82, 83, 84, 85, our bikes were unbelievable.
Yeah. And people kind of started catching on maybe and caught. Yeah. Pretty impressive.
Guys, we're done.
Thank you.
All right.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Appreciate it.
What a combination. Thank you very much.
Number 5.
Number 5.
I know.
Well, glad it was a real joy. Good stuff.
While you guys are still standing there in the beautiful lighting together, we get a trio shot of you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut cameras though. It's like, or you can keep going, Jim. Okay.
I'm not used to being on this end of the camera.
Good, Lexter.
He's a production shot.
You're a good-looking man.
Thank you.
I say that in very nasty.
Oh boy.
Good stuff, Lex. Thank you.